Welcome everybody. In this Show Your Life Skills series of videos, today we are talking about problem solving skills. Problem solving skills. My name is Anil Kumar. What is problem solving? Problem solving is an act of defining a problem. Problem solving is determining the cause of the problem. Problem solving is identifying, prioritizing, and selecting from among the alternatives for a good solution. Problem solving is implementing the selection so selected. The various stages of problem solving are to define, to ideate, to evaluate, to implement. We all deal with human beings day in and day out, at home, at work, at society, at community, the world at large. We do get into problems every now and then because the processes, the procedures, the methods that people around us follow are unique to each one of us, and life is nothing but a series of problem solving activities. The choices that we make, the decisions that we make, that is what keeps us moving from one incident to another. So we have to define the problem first, then we have to disaggregate to separate the problem into minute parts, prioritize which to be solved with more importance, work out a plan, analyze the possibilities, synthesize the solutions, and then communicate what has been decided so that it will be implemented. This is how we do the problem solving. Now, of the various skill sets, problem solving, critical thinking, decision making all go hand in hand, and without this it will be very difficult for a person to survive in today's corporate world. What are the steps involved? First, we have to be clear about what the problem is. Only then we can solve. We need to identify the issues. We need to understand everyone's interest. The problem is there in the first place because different parties have different interests. We have to list out the possible solutions. What are the options available? What are the alternatives? We have to evaluate them objectively without a bias. We have to select from among the options, maybe one or more possible solutions. We have to document what has been agreed upon, and then we have to ensure that there is a plan to implement and to monitor that the progress is as expected. We also have to agree on the contingencies. What if the plan doesn't work? What if something goes wrong? Then we have to monitor and evaluate the course correction actions. We want everybody to be satisfied with the decision that we take. We want everyone to have the days simply as good as a breeze. And for this, we need to find ways and means of ironing out the problems as easy as possible. Because parties work towards a solution to a problem. And to work for a solution problem, people should be motivated to own that problem and own that solution. Keep personal and professional relationships well oiled so that it becomes easy to solve the problems, if any, within the team, inter-team, intra-team, whatever it is, even between a client and the company. So what is defining the problem? It has various aspects, stages, or philosophies. Differentiate fact from opinion. Specify underlying causes. Consult each function involved for the information. Each faction involved, each department involved, each team involved, each person involved. State the problem specifically, write it down, split it. The verbs, the nouns, the adjectives, the adverbs that you use will give more information about the problem. Identify what standard or expectation is violated. Why we call this as a problem. Determine in which process the problem lies. Where exactly is the problem? Avoid trying to solve the problem without data. Now, the focus should be on the problem, not its symptoms. There should be involvement of all related parties. Everybody should contribute to define the problem as well as to define or design the alternative solutions. We should be looking at the factual information, and we should be looking at comparison of expectations before the problem, during the problem, and after the resolution. What is reality is what we should look at. We may have to draw flowcharts to identify the expected steps of the process that caused the problem and what gave these effects. We need to analyze and define the root cause, RCA, root cause analysis. Now when we do that, why are we doing this? We have to look at who does what, with what information, using what tools, communicating with what organization and individuals. So who does what will tell where which person or which team is having an influence on creation or solution of this problem. With what information, what are the inputs and what are the outputs, using what tools, how are they processing, what methods, what procedures, what techniques, communicating with what organization individual, how they communicate their output or the performance, and is there a problem with the communication of what has been performed. So in what time frame they do this, so we will know when the problem occurred or where all the problem might occur. Is it every Sunday? Is it every day at noon? Using what format, method, tool or technique or procedure that these people are working. So who does what, with what information, using what tools, communicating with whom, in what time frame or which time frame, using what format, method, tool, techniques or procedure. So once we have an information on this, we would have defined the problem. Evaluating the possible impact. Evaluating the possible impact, maybe of the options, maybe of the new tools, maybe of the revised policies, so maybe of our so-called what should be model, that also needs to be evaluated in this time frame. Who does what, with what information, using what tools, communicating with whom, in which time frame, using what methods, tools and techniques. This is how we define a problem. Generating alternative solutions. How do we do this? We have to postpone evaluating alternatives initially. We shouldn't evaluate on the minute zero, day zero. We should have the alternatives listed, unjudged. We should have a brainstorming. We can look at which is better, which is not later. Include all the involved individuals in generating the alternatives. Let them give their own views, their own solutions, their own answers, their own angle of looking at the issue. Specify the alternatives consistent with the organizational goals. Ensure that the alternatives are doable or not is later, but are they consistent with the organizational goals? That is important. Specify short and long-term alternatives, short and long-term solutions. Brainstorm on others' ideas. When each and every person gives an idea, let other people put on the multiple hat thinking personality, the black hat, the red hat, and ask questions and find out how better it could become. Seek alternatives. Ask everybody to think differently, innovatively, creatively, critically, and give solutions. Multiple alternatives significantly enhance the value of the solution and also significantly reduce the risk of loss. Brainstorming and team problem solving are the important techniques to be used because it brings out the team spirit, the comradeship. Once you have decided what should be the model, what should be the solution, what should be the way going forward, then this will become the standard. And this becomes the basis for developing other things. So, if we focus on trying to get the results we want, we will miss the potential of getting better alternatives and better solutions. So don't focus on getting the results we want. Focus on possible alternatives and solutions and new ways of doing things. What's the next level or next stage? What do we do next? We have to evaluate. And only then we will be able to select an alternative. How do we do this? The alternatives should be evaluated against the target standard. The target standard should be in line with organizational objectives. We should evaluate all the alternatives. We shouldn't let out one or few for any reason. And it should be relative to the established goals. The organization has a goal and the solution of the problem has an expected standard. Evaluate both proven and possible outcomes. So what is known and what is unknown, both should be evaluated, and we should state the selected alternative explicitly. We should say these are the alternatives available, these were the recommended top 3 items, of which this has been selected for this reason. Consider the extent to which a particular alternative will solve the problem. Consider the extent to which a particular alternative will solve the problem. And also state how this will solve the problem without causing other unanticipated problems. The extent to which a particular alternative will solve the problem and without causing other unanticipated problems. All the individuals involved will accept the alternative. That you should ensure. Only then the implementation of the alternative is likely. Otherwise, people will not own it. Ensure that the alternative fits within the organizational constraints. This is important. So, the continuous monitoring and testing of the actual event after the solution is implemented against expectation is necessary. How do we do this? We can look at the root cause analysis, we can look at the quality toolboxes, or you can read the 80 problem solving techniques and you will have more information on how we can continuously monitor and test the impact of the solution implemented vis-a-vis the actual event and expectations. So we know there are problems, we know we are dealing with people, processes, procedures, and now we know how to prioritize this activity of problem solving. Any problem, any issue, any disagreement, everything has to be resolved within 24 to 48 hours. The more it is delayed, the more difficult it becomes to resolve, because it will become a mess. So what is the problem? What is your problem? What is the problem? That is important to know. Is there a problem? And if it is a problem, is it be properly defined to re-understand whether there is a real problem? So we have to define, then we have to clarify, then we have to define the goals, that is where we want to go from here. We have to identify the root cause of the problem, because only then we can prevent recurrence. We have to develop an action plan so that from the problem we will go to solution. We have to execute the plan and then evaluate the results to see whether execution is okay, whether plan itself is wrong. And we have to continuously improve. Once solving a problem does not end it. So what is a problem? What is the problem are the important questions to begin with and to remember all the time, so that we come out of the problem. So we have to identify the issues, be clear of what the problem is, understand everyone's interest, list the possible solutions and evaluate, and then select the best alternatives. And most importantly, document the agreements, because when you do a feedback, when you try to see whether it works well, then the documentation is what matters. Thanks for watching this video. Please come back. We will keep talking about shoring up your life skills in various soft skill format.